All right, let me see. Okay, good afternoon, folks. This is Danny with Danny's Luxury Cruise Vacations, and we are an independent affiliate of the Avoya Travel Network. And today I have the pleasure of having Barbara from Victory Cruise Line spending a few precious moments with us today to tell us a little bit about her wonderful product. Barbara, thank you for being here. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me, Danny.
It's my pleasure. A few questions for you. We're going to get started by asking you if you could tell us a little bit about Victory. Well, I know about Victory, but the general public that will be watching this, if you could tell them a little bit about your product and where you go.
Sure, absolutely. So, Victory Cruise Lines is a small ship cruise line. We actually only have two vessels and they hold 190 guests on board. And we really are focused sailing on only the Great Lakes and the Canadian Maritimes. So, if you have kind of that bucket list idea of wanting to see all five Great Lakes, our cruise line absolutely checks that box. So, really, we're focused again April through October on all five Great Lakes with just our two ships.
Very nice, very nice. And who would be a perfect fit for your cruise? I mean, obviously, the people that don't want to fly overseas, spend 8 hours in an airplane, that would be a great fit for you. People that want to stay close to home, not have to worry about a passport. Other than that, who would you say is a good fit? What are your demographics?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, being close to home is one of the benefits since we're sailing between the United States and Canada. For the most part, we are Chicago to Toronto or reverse.
Okay.
That's about 70% of our itinerary. So, when you talk about a shorter flight, people who want that shorter flight will definitely get it. You don't have to cross the great big blue ocean to get to any of our ports. But our demographic of clients that we typically see on board, the guests are really kind of more baby boomer generation of traveler, someone who's maybe done a European river cruise or a small ship luxury cruise, or even some soft entry into adventure and expedition cruising. So you've got some time on your hands, you're well traveled, well educated. That's really the kind of guest that we typically see on board.
And being a small ship experience, 190 guests, obviously you're not going to have, and not necessarily going to want it. You're not going to have the water slides, the rock climbing, and the ice skating. Uh, Having said that, what is your onboard experience like? What can people
Yeah.
expect?
So that's a really great question. And what I always tell people is that we're kind of like a European river cruise, just closer to home. So if you've done a European river cruise where there's one bar and one lounge, that's the kind of public space that we have on the ships itself. The daily life on board, though, is really more about our enrichment programs, our entertainment that we have in the evening. So, for example, for enrichment, we've actually partnered with the National Museum of the Great Lakes and our Lake Lorien. That's kind of a weird word, right? Our Lake Lorien provides daily lectures and presentations about the area in which we're sailing on the Great Lakes. So it's historically accurate and really engaging. And then from an entertainment standpoint, every evening we have a live band. It's a three-piece band that plays live music. There's a dance floor. I'd say it's more kind of lounge act style, so it's not big Broadway caliber shows, obviously being only 190 guests on board. But yeah, you're really gonna get some great entertainment and enrichment on board. But I always tell people that when you sail with Victory, you're sailing for the destination and the experience, right? And it's about what you're doing on land, and we include shore excursions in every port of call. So that's a big part of our experience, whether it's on board or on land.
Well, you just answered nicely a part of my next question about what's included. The excursions are included. Is there anything else on board the cruise? What can people expect to pay for, or once they pay for their cruise, is everything taken care of?
Yeah, it's a wonderful question. And we actually start our inclusions before guests even step foot on our vessels. So, what they'll happen here is they'll fly into the destination and they'll make their way to our pre cruise hotel because every voyage comes with one hotel night prior to sailing. So, you can get into the destination, relax, see the city, and then the next day we include breakfast, porterage of all their luggage, and we take them directly from the hotel to the ship on embarkation day. So that's before they even get on the ship. And then once they're on board, it's all meals in every restaurant, even our specialty dining, and there's no surcharges for specialty dining or things like lobster. We have all of our beverages included, so there's a pretty extensive list of beer, wine, spirits, cocktails, mocktails, specialty coffee and tea. All of that is included throughout the day, and every guest will receive a souvenir refillable metal bottle that we use for our hydration stations because we don't keep single-use plastic on board. So that's our part of being eco-friendly. And actually, that bottle is engraved with their name on it. So
Very
that's a
nice.
nice touch too. So meals, beverages, shore excursions, like I mentioned, in every port of call, unlimited Wi-Fi so they can stay connected. There's really a whole slew of things, but that core, obviously the meals, beverages, shore excursions, is the hub of what we do in addition to the enrichment and entertainment program.
Now, I know some of the, if I may put it this way, some of the friendly competitors out there
Yes.
have elevated excursions where you pay a little bit extra for that. Is that something that you folks have as well?
We do, yes. So when you look at a Victory Cruise Line shore experience, let me give you an example. In Mackinac Island, we actually dock at the pier at Mackinac Island, whereas our competition has to tender in from outside the bay. Their included excursion is a walking tour. Our included excursion is a horse-drawn carriage ride through the national park. So for us, our included activities like the carriage ride, like the Niagara Falls boat. So you get right up and feel the mist and the roar of the thunder in your ears. We also include the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation, and Greenfield Village. So we've got quite a few things that are included. But you're right, we do have premium and immersive experiences that our guests can opt into. And these are things that could be maybe a tour that visits multiple locations within a site. So, for example, in Cleveland, one of our tours hits the Botanical Gardens, the Museum of Art, the Crawford Auto Aviation Museum, and Lakeview Cemetery, where President Garfield's memorial is. So that's like a premium tour. Then we have immersive experiences that might be more hands-on. So this is going to be 2 to 20 guests, and it could be culinary experience. It could be a little bit more, hiking or trekking through areas. So there are different levels, but we always include a shore excursion in every port.
Beautiful, fabulous, fabulous, Barbara. Having said all of that, that answers all my questions. What I wanted to ask you is there anything that you would like to add to this that I maybe didn't think about asking?
Yeah, it's a good point to make, Danny. I think a lot of times when people think about cruising, they don't always think about what's in their own backyard. And the Great Lakes is really a very unique destination to sail. And so we do offer something very niche. So if you already feel like you've done the European river cruise, you've done a small ship river or lake cruise, this is something very unique and different. And the service and cuisine that's on our vessels and on our product through Victory overall is very special. The other thing that I'll mention, Danny, is that all of our staterooms on board both Victory 1 and Victory 2, which are sister ships, by the way, identical deck plans, 100% of them are ocean view staterooms or outside staterooms. So everyone has at least 2 huge picture windows. We even have a deck that's like a promenade style deck where you enter from the exterior door. So everyone can get that view or fresh air very easily with any of our staterooms. But again, it's about the destination and the experience versus just the ship, right? It's about where you're going and what you're seeing.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Barbara, spot on, fabulous. Thank you so much. It's well appreciated.
You are very welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.